All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. It is December 10th, 2021. Keeping it Rio. We're on a different day and time, but it's going to be awesome. Trust me. Today, I have an amazing guest. Can't wait to get going here. So let me hit this intro, and we will be back on the backside with my incredible guests. Thank you for watching Keeping It Rio. How about that? We hit it perfectly at 1 minute. That is exactly how long I've been practicing that. I nailed it perfect the first time today. And before I do anything else, I would like to introduce my wonderful guest today, Mrs. Leeann Koppel. And before any questions or anything, I just would like to say that intro that was done, that was your company that made it. So it's pretty awesome. I love it.
Dang! I was about to say that's an intro. That is an intro, and I mean, not like tooting my own horn or anything, but K Socialized really killed it there. Mainly Chris Carpenter. Let's get it real. Chris Carpenter is a bad, but or I can't. You know what I mean.
You can say it. It's Keeping It Rio.
It is. I need to. This light is messing with me. I'm turning this off.
No worries. So as you can see, Leeann is in a remote location here. Where exactly are we at in the world today?
That is better. I am actually in St. George, Utah today. I am here with my mom. This is her office, actually, America. So I'm here with her. She had surgery recently, so I'm just here taking care of her in the meantime and enjoying the beautiful view here because it's all red rock and mountains. And I went to the grocery store earlier and there was snow on the peak of the mountains from rain yesterday. So it's really beautiful, actually.
Snow is amazing on TV from Texas. That's coming from someone that's lived in a northern territory for most of his life. So snow's great as long as someone else is dealing with it. Leeann, welcome to Keeping It Rio. Obviously, we've got Leeann Koppel. She is a serial entrepreneur, mother, wife, friend, colleague, you name it. Leeann covers all those with grace and dignity. So, Leeann, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll just dive right in.
Gosh, you're so nice.
I know.
Thanks for the warm welcome and intro. Like he said, I am Leeann Koppel. I own K Socialized Media, and I co-own ASAP Roofing with my husband Clint and brother Jojo. And it's a whole lot of fun and enjoyment on our ends.
It is a whole lot of fun. And I'll be the first one to admit, on the Rio Blanco side, I'm like the Leeann. I have Rio Blanco with Clint and Joseph. So we've got a lot in common, really.
Yeah, tripods here. Tripods.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. And I'm honored. So a little bit about your company, K Socialized Media. I brag about you guys all the time because you're the absolute best in the industry. I know you've been around for a couple years now and have really started to get yourself established. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that all came about, how K Socialized Media even became a thing, where the thought came from, and how you've kind of grown it over the last few years to what we got going today, which is a juggernaut.
Yes, a juggernaut. I love it. Yes. So how it began was, like I said, I co-own ASAP with my brother and husband, and I used to do the office work, not fully my jam. And so I approached them both and said, hey, can I take over the social media? I think I can actually do a good job. Can I just try it out? And I did, and it started getting really good traction. And we got such a great response from our local communities for each of our ASAP branches. And from that, kind of getting that out there, what occurred was I had other company owners asking me for help. And I absolutely love helping people, especially business owners. And so it was kind of a natural thing that just came across. It was like, oh, well, JoJo and Clint and our mentor, Mike Code, were like, you should start an agency. And I was against it for a little bit. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm not that knowledgeable. I just did this. And they kept pushing me. And I ended up following exactly what they said. I started an agency, and I am so passionate about it because of the fact that I've seen it work for our own company, but I also have what you can kind of say a roofer's mindset now. So promoting it on social media, such a unsexy product, or in this industry and in the social media space, I grew to really love it, and I love a challenge. And so helping other roofing company owners has become a passion of mine, because it's just kind of goes hand in hand. And I know that it works. ASAP is my baby, where I trial and error everything, and then my clients get a benefit from it.
Absolutely. And I'm very happy to be one of those that gets to benefit. We have seen, the social media presence of Rio Blanco and myself, just because of your influence, has been insane. I was in Oklahoma yesterday, and I was doing a sales training with Mike Code and one of our friends, Mr. Larry Andrews. And it was funny because his sales team came in, and it was like, man, we follow you on Facebook, and you're on social media, and we're in your groups, and it was like really fulfilling. But it brought me kind of full circle back around. And I always like to share this story because you are directly related to this. A couple years before I got with our organization, I was over here in College Station, which is where I'm at now. And I remember, I've always kind of been like a social media kind of person. I like seeing what's going on and just being able to custom tailor your news feeds and stuff. So I've been following a lot of roofing companies for many years. I've known ASAP for probably since you guys started, really, and it was really cool because in 2019, I joined the team here. I say that I joined the family. And when I got to come up to the ASAP office for the first time in Tyler, Texas, I'll never forget this, because I was walking through, and it's like, I knew ASAP because you were doing all the videos and stuff, right? Like, you're the face of the company. And I know Clint and JoJo, but you were the face of the company. So I'm going through and I'm introducing myself and meeting all the people there. And it's like, oh, this is cool, And then all of a sudden, it was like this door opened, and out comes this movie star, and it was you. And at that exact moment, I was like, oh my God, it's Leeann. And it was like, I realized the power of social media at that one very moment. So thank you, because I know that you turned your passion into a career, but like, you helped me realize it before any of that even happened. So it's very powerful. It's broad, and it's very far reaching. And,
That's so awesome. I felt the same way, though, because I had heard about you and how amazing of a salesman you were, and you were the best of the best. So we both came across around the corner, and I was like, oh, superstar is here. He's here. He made it. And you were thinking the same thing. So it is full circle moment right there.
There you go. Chuck got starstruck with the happy face. So that was the truth. And I'll tell you, the secret to the whole thing and what you teach us is what we do is not really about what we do, right? I mean, we're a roofing company, and I know it's not sexy. I personally like to think that we're trying to bring sexy back right here, but I don't know. I'm a little older than I used to be, so it's taken a little longer, but we don't really go through the standard, roofing company type protocol as it is with this. I did post a before and after picture of a roof today, but that was my primary thing a few years ago. And then we started evolving with the social media, and you really started teaching us some things about what we really should be doing instead of what we were. And, could you touch a little bit on what the best way to get your branding out there and how to get people to notice you and not to just scroll by and actually to take interest?
Yes, the best. I think one of the biggest benefits of me not coming from the roofing industry was the fact that I had a different perspective, a different kind of mindset coming into advertising and marketing it. So the biggest thing you have to remember is social media is social. You've got to go there to socialize with people. People are logging on to there to see their friends, colleagues, to see their grandchildren and what they're up to. And I think some agencies or some, business owners that are running their social pages tend to forget about that. They tend to forget that, yes, it is a business page. You're trying to sell your product or service, but at the same time, people don't want to be sold all the time. They don't go on to social for that. So you got to cater yourself to what you're following actually to see. You've got to know that if you bring who you are as people, then the following will actually want to buy from you. They're not buying from a business, they're buying from people. And that's kind of what has happened in the last generation or so when it comes to marketing. Before, you could sell, and that was the thing to do. And it was all about being known for your brand, your image, like Coca-Cola. People buy their soda because they're Coca-Cola, or McDonald's. But now it's different. It's about sharing your experience. It's about showing who you are as people. People want to actually get to know you. They actually care about who you are. And when they know about who you are, they're more likely to even buy from you because that trust is being built. So the biggest advice I can ever give anyone when it comes to branding at all, on social media or not on social media, is one, be yourself and just show them who you are. Show them who the people are behind the brand and the company. Show them the culture. That's just as important as the service or product that you provide. It can make a huge difference in your marketing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that some of the stuff we do is so amazing and unique that, we literally take people that just come in and like turn them into superstars. And it was one of the coolest things when we were getting ready to open this office here in College Station last year in June of 20? I don't even know what year it is anymore. 20. It's been so long ago now. A year and a half ago, we opened this office, and I brought my managers, my guys from the San Antonio office up here to show them where our office was going to be and kind of just, bring them up and show them what we were trying to do. And I walked into the supply companies, both of them here in town, with the guys, and the people in the buildings knew who they were before they introduced themselves. So I think they saw the power of it as well. It was really, it's really a cool thing. Rio Blanco is a small brand, really. But when I go to Miami, Florida, or Orlando, we were all at RoofCon a couple weeks ago, and people come up and they know your brand. They know who you are. They're like, hey, I'm watching your stuff. You guys are really doing amazing things. That's 100% because of you. And I thank you for that, because I really see the value in it and you bring it. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, right? So with K Socialized Media, you guys have really evolved from, an idea to your early stages when you're in that one studio that was like super hot. And it was like, I'll be honest, now that it's over with, it sucked pretty bad now that it's gone. No windows, no AC. And it was, you had to be there for the love, right? And we were there and we were sweating, and I lost like 20 pounds doing some stuff over there. But you've evolved. You were able to move into a newer office, which was like, a year ago, 2 years ago now? It was pretty close, right?
Yeah, it's a year ago, about 11 months ago, which I have to say, I am pretty proud of myself because I was brought up not for money, a very poor family, to be honest. And I just spent this past year and I never had my internet or electricity or anything shut off from non-payment. So, woo-woo! All paid by K Social.
Yeah, 20-year-old Chuck can certainly appreciate that too. So that's a great accomplishment, right? We're going in the right direction. Lights were on all year. So you've moved into you moved into the new studio a year ago. You guys have continued to add on to your clientele, your services that you guys provide. What kind of stuff? I've got a whole bunch of sales reps on here. We're on the Contractors Army page today. We're on my personal. We're also on the Keepin It Rio YouTube and on Twitch. Like, we're multimedia here. So hopefully millions of people watch this.
Everyone.
And yeah, they're going to say, oh my God, these two are amazing. They're social media gurus. I need to be like them. How do they go about reaching Leeann, and what kind of services can you provide to the public? You know, what do you provide, and to who do you provide it to? How's that?
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, one area of services that we provide is full service packages where we do everything for you. Some people think that it's just posting every day, but in reality, there is so much more that goes into it. There's engaging, there's finding groups and mentioning who you are in those groups. It's taking care of reviews, bad reviews, good reviews, messages, liking and commenting as your page. There's so much more that can go into that, and running ads and campaigns. So we offer that service to take that stress away from our business owners, because at the end of the day, these business owners need to be focusing on the most important thing, and that is building their business. And I saw that as a need that that a lot of business owners wanted to fulfill, and that's why I kind of originally started the company really gearing towards that. Then, as I got some business owners that actually have the time to post every day and engage and do everything that we do, or they have a manager that is able to do that, I launched my certification program. It literally teaches the person, and this can be not just for business owners, but people that want to be, kind of more in the influencer space, or a salesman that really wants to blow up their business page on the sales side. It can really cater to any of those. And it's a certification program where we go through everything, anything that I have ever learned in the years I've been doing this, the mentors I've paid money to, the programs I've done, the conferences I've gone to. I don't hold anything back ever. So we created that whole entire certification program. And as we've been growing, and one of my passions personally, not just social media, is production. I am obsessed with content creation. I love directing videos and coming up with ideas that we put together and edit and throw out for these companies. I was originally born and raised in Los Angeles, so it's just something that I think was engraved in me. I love that behind the scenes stuff. So we also offer video creation and really amazing commercials at a ridiculously affordable price, because I want every type of business owner to be able to put out good content, not just the multimillionaires and the high end corporations. I also want to help the smaller businesses or salesmen. So we offer all of that in general. And we've offered logo creation, pretty much anything that falls within marketing at all. We offer it all of it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's pretty much the truth. You offer everything, and it's amazing when I watch it, because, again, we go back to just a year or so ago, and the evolution has been insane. You mentioned something very intriguing to me, which obviously I know you personally, and I know your company, and I've been in many of your videos. Those are always hilarious and fun, and I enjoy them, and I'm looking forward to the Luigi and Mario one that's coming out pretty soon.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the better ones. So you said something very interesting. You want to help all small businesses, and you want to help all types of industries and all types of businesses that can market themselves. So you're not just a roofing related branding company, but you basically will cover just about anything, right?
Yes, I again, like how I started the company, I naturally just had so many people approaching me in the roofing industry, and that is why I started the company. Well, if you have a need coming to you, you've got to fulfill it. I started having other business owners from different industries reach out to me and say, "Hey, do you help us too?" And I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say, "Heck yes, I can. What do you need? I got your back." So I just, gradually went into that space, and I love just marketing any industry at all. I don't want to limit K Socialized. Yes, I do have a separate little passion for helping roofing companies, but I also just love helping any entrepreneur or business owner in general.
And you do a wonderful job. That's for sure. That is tremendous. So anybody that's watching can utilize Leeann's services. I highly recommend. I mean, I'm definitely an advocate. So moving into the future, okay, we talked about your humble beginnings with the company, and you've continued to grow and grow and grow to now where you've got clients all over the country. You're flying around with your team, shooting content, putting stuff out on a daily basis. Let's fast forward now. Where are you going to be 2 years from now with K Socialized Media? What's your vision look like? Where are you guys going? How many people do you want on your team? You know, all those cool little dream board details that we all think of. I've got 25 Rio Blancos on my board. So how many K Socialized Media? I know you're not going to open branches, but like how far reaching do you want to be? And what are your goals for the company ultimately?
Oh, I love that question. I have quite a few goals with the company. Of course, expanding the team, something that originally I thought, okay, I want a lot of local people to work on the team, to be content creators, editors. But as I kind of expand and grow, I think they don't have to just be local. The content creators definitely don't have to just be local, but I just want to be able to provide an opportunity for a lot of different creative people in East Texas, where the headquarters is at, I guess you could say. So I want to, there's not a lot of those type of opportunities in East Texas. So that is one goal of mine, is to really help out those creatives and support the local people. And then I also have a lot of, I'm trying to think on what I could say, because I have a lot of things lined up for 2022. And I'm like, do I want to announce it now or keep it a secret?
This is Keepin It Rio. This is the best place to announce things. This is the best place.
Yes, it is. Well, I have some really exciting things in the works, and not just expanding the team, but, you know, covering industries all over the states. But I'm also, I'm going to have to do it because, Chuck, I love your face, and, you know, it's Keeping It Rio. But my husband, Clint, and I have been in the works of creating something that we've talked about for a while with other business company owners. And 2022, we are going to be launching business retreats. And so with these retreats, they're going to be weekend long retreats, and it's going to be all business. The people that come for the social media branding, I'm literally going to be giving a content calendar for the year. I mean, there's going to be so many perks within that. I don't want to say too much, but the retreats are coming, and we are going to be announcing actually the first one really soon. So this is a little sneak peek. I don't want to say everything that's involved in it, but anyone that has gone on a trip that I've planned, or gone to a company gathering or a company party, they know how I am when it comes to events, and I go all out. I want to make it the best experience and most memorable experience of your life. So it's kind of just bringing together my business side that I love to do, and my creative, doing events and, you know, planning that I love to do, and bringing it together and making it one epic weekend. It's going to be insane. It is not going to be normal. It's not going to be like any other retreat you've ever been to, because I am about experience. I'm about, you know, it's going to be an experience the whole entire time. So that's one of the biggest things that are coming out in 2022.
I love it. I'm going to get myself on that list. I need to be at a retreat for sure, because I have been to Leeann events, and I've been booked on travel by Leeann. And trust me, it is always an enjoyable experience. We just got back from RoofCon in Orlando, and I flew there first class and flew back first class. I stayed in a beautiful hotel, and it was amazing. So I love when you set our stuff up, because I end up at Motel 6 if it's me. So thank you for that. The retreats, I mean, anybody that knows us as people, y'all are going to be there. Like, I guarantee there's people that just heard that or they're saving up right now. So that's going to be huge, and that is super exciting. I do want to give a quick shout out, because you were talking about your content creators, and just a second ago, we did get a heart on our video from my personal Rio Blanco, Allison. And the reason why I bring Allison up is, number one, she is awesome and does a great job. But Allison is located in Boise, Idaho. So she's doing content creation across the country. And what was that?
I gotcha.
Did you see that? That was not good. So yeah, thank you, Allison. We appreciate you.
Yes, that is actually one thing that I absolutely love about the company as well. And my goals is to have content creators and editors that can work from anywhere and actually travel and do what they want to do and have a freedom of schedule, but also create. And that's one of the biggest things that I love about kind of what we do. I'm able to be here in Utah and help my mom, but yet I'm still creating content every day. So the content creators are epic. They're so awesome.
You're literally throwing fire right now from Utah. So here we are. This is tremendous. So we've covered business now for the most part here. K Socialized Media is on fire, getting ready to bring out some amazing stuff next year. We got retreats coming for the whole deal. Let's shift gears just a little bit and let's figure out how in the world do you make all this happen, Leeann? You are multifaceted for sure. You mentioned Clint, your husband. You guys have multiple businesses together. You've got a large family. You take care of business. You're blazing a trail right now in an industry that has not always historically been like female friendly. I mean, I'll be honest, it sucks, but the fact of the matter is you're a trailblazer. You're someone that a lot of people look up to. And I think you're helping set new trends with ownership and in the way that things look in our industries and the way that female entrepreneurs are viewed, which to me is amazing because I wouldn't want to work with anybody other than you. You're awesome. So how do you manage all that? You've got your family at home. You've got the Koppel farm with like, I don't even know how many pets you guys have. Now you got a monkey. I mean,
too many.
How do you make this all happen, Leeann? What's a typical day look like for Leeann Koppel from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed?
Oh gosh, I don't even know if you want me to go over a typical day. It's wild. It's so much. I do a lot. And honestly, I'm going to be straight up. There's really no real balance. I can thrive at home and be an amazing mom, but my work will, suck. And then I can thrive at work and my home life will suck. There's just no balance. But my kids are amazing children and they've known about the sacrifice. We've been very transparent with them and they know that when we're building an empire, there are going to be sacrifices. And then I know as a mom, when I'm doing some of my mom time, there's going to be sacrifices with my business. And that's just the reality of it. That's just how it has to go. I want to hustle every day and grind every minute, but in reality, I also want to be a good mom and I want to be a good wife and a good friend and sister. So I've learned not to overdo it and really set a time, those moments in the schedule to where it is for family and friends. The biggest thing is I love scheduling out everything. I have a schedule in my phone. I mean, I even schedule out like my hair, my nail appointments, everything for the whole entire year, like the year. I try my best to plan out trips for the whole year because then I also know it helps me when to prevent getting overloaded. When I know, okay, I have a trip coming up in March, that's a vacation trip, not work trip. I can hustle and grind through this time because I know in March during those days, okay, I have time off. I can do this. Like I'm gonna relax. That's my time to like shut off and relax. And I think that's one of the biggest things is really making sure that you have a schedule that works for you, whether it be on your phone where you get multiple notifications for one appointment like I do, or if you write it down in a daily planner. That is definitely one of the biggest things that helps me. A second thing that I learned from, I can't even remember, I think it was maybe a business conference, but one other thing that helps me on the daily is coming up with a 5 action item list. And it can be something small, it could be big, it could be like a lot of the times I write down the things that I normally don't like doing, like, hey, I need to fuel up my gas tank today before it gets to empty, or I need to do an oil change today because I've been avoiding it for a month. Those are the things that I really like to put on those action items, because even though like it's a 5-minute ordeal or a 20-minute ordeal, it's just things that I personally procrastinate on. So having that action item list and crossing it off, that gives me satisfaction. Oh my gosh.
Satisfaction is a terrific new word that was just invented on Keepin It Rio. There you go.
I think I just came up with the word that makes me satisfied. Satisfaction.
That gives you tremendous satisfaction. I love it. I love it.
Why not? But yeah, those main things really help, but also asking for help. I am a strong woman, entrepreneur, whatever. And I used to really be like that alpha female. I can do it all. I don't need help. But you know what? After having 4 kids and like 13 animals and multiple businesses, I will break if I do not ask for help at this moment. Like I've learned, if I really want to excel in life and be the business owner I thought I'd always be, or the mom I'd always thought I'd be, or wife, I have to get help. There's no way any person can do everything on their own. And everyone's version of help is different. So I get help with certain things that I know will help me progress in other areas of my life, because that's a weakness of mine. And I'm okay. And you have to accept those weaknesses too. And that's hard. It is so hard. And with this new year coming, this may be the time to do it, but to really look at yourself and be like, okay, I'm not good at doing dishes. I'm not good at doing certain things. I hate grocery shopping. Like that drives me nuts. I have assigned those duties to other people because it is something that I need help with. And it's something that I lack in and is my weakness. That's important. It's great to focus on your strengths and really, look at that, but you've got to focus on your weaknesses too, and just ask for help. That's probably like the biggest things that help propel me forward.
Yeah, I love that. And here's a great comment. Satisfaction is awesome. You've been using your action, I guess it's Allison has been using your action item thing since you challenged it, and it feels amazing to mark things off. We have a Facebook user that's saying solid gold tips. So Leeann, you are spitting fire. Everybody's got flames. I love it. And one thing I want to say for sure is I've been around you guys now, the Koppel family and the Kozels, for almost 3 years. It's amazing how fast that 3 years has gone. But you guys have got it figured out as far as how to keep your family life and keep your business life. And you do have balance, even though maybe it doesn't seem that way for you. I've been around and seen it. And it's like, you guys know how to take the time to not do your work and not be 100% focused on this so you can spend time. And I love that. I think it's the most amazing thing about you and Clint both, because you guys are just awesome with your kids. And you can tell that that's the most important thing to you. A lot of times people get caught up in their business and they don't really do what they're supposed to do in life. And you guys have excelled. So I wanted to tell you that because I love seeing it and I wanted to make it public there. So
thank you. It wasn't always like that, but we've learned our lessons, and it's just taking action behind what you learn and, doing it different.
Nice. Well, look, it's actually Joy is the one from Rio Blanco who's giving you this stuff. That's pretty cool.
We love you, Joy.
We do. Joy's awesome. And Keepin It Rio is all over the interwebs. I think I recognize this guy, maybe. Potentially. I don't know. Maybe you know him. I don't know. So talking about the family deal, obviously you guys, you moved to Texas, right? Several years back now.
Yes.
Started a roofing company, you and Clint. And at some point in time, you guys got to the point where it's starting to grow and develop and get bigger. And you invited your brother to come in, right? Joseph. And he was against it. I've heard the story from him. He didn't really feel like doing it, didn't really want to get into it. And then, he ended up doing it. And thank God, because we all love JoJo and he's amazing. And his contributions to our industry are like, I don't even know. I did know who it was. It was Chris.
I knew it. I was going to say
it was the beard and it was that like the eyebrows. He looks like I'd done something to make Chris mad here. But so JoJo came on board, right? And then you guys have kind of been able to focus more on each individual's strengths, right? Like when you first start, you have to kind of do things that maybe you're not good with or you don't like doing. Like you said, office work. Same thing here with Rio Blanco. You know, thank God Joy is here, because for like the first 2 years, I did all that myself. And I don't even know how we're still around, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but we made it. So
you make it work.
We figure a way. So you get into a situation now, you've got this dynamic where you're working directly with your husband and your brother. Obviously family, you know, you guys are together basically all the time. You can't help but get on each other's nerves. That's the way human nature goes. So, you know, it doesn't happen very much. I'm sure y'all are a very loving family, but how do you guys control that dynamic? How does it work with your husband, your brother, and you all, you know, owning a business together and all shooting towards the same goal, but being different people, having different strengths, different ideas on how things should be? How do you guys go about making that happen? And for anybody that doesn't know, ASAP Roofing was what, 0 to 20 million in like just under 4 years. Is that right? Yeah. So it's a legit company that knows what they're doing. Leeann's not like operating out of a tool shed. So how do you guys go about doing that? Yeah, not anymore, right?
Not anymore. We've grown, thankfully. Yes, you know, working with family, before we really dove into the business with family, you hear it all the time. Don't you dare work with family. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. And everyone talks about how bad it is. But there are many families that actually have businesses together, and it's a good thing. And I think that that's not mentioned enough. It's always mentioned, you know, how much it shouldn't work. For us, of course, we're family. There's ups and downs. There's disagreements. There's, you know, that's life. That's the most beautiful part of life, is that we aren't all the same. I would never want to be the same as everyone else. So that works for us. And when we started, and we have our mentor like Mike Code, and we've gone to business conferences, and we've learned through this process and gained knowledge on how to effectively be partners in the workplace, but also family. And the best thing that we ever learned is defining your roles and sticking to them. We each have a role in the company. We each have, like Clint, he deals with sales and production, and Joseph deals with office stuff, because I cannot do that. And that's why I begged him to come, because he got a bachelor's in business management. So I was like, please save me. And then I do what I like, which is public relations. That's social media, events, you know, all of that. And the biggest and most important things when it comes to defining those roles is sticking to them, not crossing over. There are moments where, yes, one of us has to cross over to the other one because there's things going on in our lives. I mean, we're human, we're people, things happen. So of course we will pick up each other's slack, and that's been one of the biggest blessings out of all of this. But when everything is working well and smooth is when we stick in our own lanes and not maneuver over. And that's probably the biggest thing that has helped us throughout the years is, and sometimes we have to revisit that, because sometimes things change over the years. As you grow and evolve, things change all the time. So having that definite role that you play, and knowing, hey, and this is what I do. And even if you sit with your partners or your brother, or even at your home life as husband and wife, you can literally sit and get so defined in what those roles are, or they could be broad. It really depends on what works with your lifestyle and you, but you can, like, as husband and wife, okay, I'm taking care of the kids in the morning, you take care of the kids at night. I'm taking care of dishes, you take care of trash. It helps in so many different aspects of your life, not just as business owners and being partners. But defining the roles is probably one of the biggest things that just really pushed us to greatness.
Yeah. Yeah, greatness indeed. And you hit on someone right there that I definitely want to mention. You talked about Mike, our great mentor, Mr. Mike Code. I got to spend the day yesterday with Mike and his father-in-law over in Oklahoma City. And, I always, every time I meet with Mike, I tell him how much I appreciate everything. I literally would have none of this without him. This all started for me in a mastermind group that Mike Code created like years ago. And I don't even know how I got into it because I didn't meet the criteria, but somehow I found my way in, and I'm like that little, annoying whatever that doesn't go away after that. But everything in my entire life was based on this one person. And I know you guys feel the same way. We all work very closely with Mike. Explain that dynamic, because to me, we have something that's so cool, because I was literally at a roofing company that's not called Rio Blanco or ASAP yesterday at this time. And I was speaking to a team of sales reps. I had an owner, Larry Andrews from 777 Roofing and Construction, who, whoops, sorry about that, Larry, much respect, who, gave me the floor. They left me in a room alone with their salespeople and said, Chuck, teach them what you can and pump them up. And the influence that I've had from Mike over the years has definitely transformed not just my career. I was literally about to quit the industry when I saw Mike's first video that I saw, but has changed me as a person and has put me in a better spot where I'm now around people like Clint, Leeann, JoJo, the family that we have at ASAP. Why don't you talk a little bit, just for a few? Obviously, Mike doesn't like when we speak kindly of him like this publicly, but this is Keepin It Rio today, and I don't see him here, so we're going to speak nice to you today, Mike. So tell me a little bit about the impact that he's had in building the organization, helping you guys understand your roles, and the overall growth and development of the entire thing, because I think you'll probably agree the same, that it wouldn't be anywhere near what it is without this resource that we have, and someone that's nationally respected and trusted and admired and loved. There you go, Mike. So how has Mike Code affected our company?
Oh, he's affected it in more ways than one. I mean, there's so many different aspects in where his influence just changed the game. And one of the biggest I would have to say is, well, one is communication. Having him kind of be a mediator between, husband, wife, sister, brother, it actually helps. And I know from the first meeting I ever sat in to this meeting, my communication skills has definitely grown just by mimicking how he communicates with us and how we would discuss a strategy on dealing with an issue. And I'm sure he could say it too and vouch that, like, even my communication with my husband and brother has gotten much better, because in the beginning, me as like alpha female, like, I want to talk and talk and talk and overtake the conversation. And I've learned there's moments where you talk and you'll make more of an impact than trying to talk the whole time and try and get your point across. You wait for your moment. And that's just, one thing I learned from Mike. And the other biggest thing that I think we all learned was shifting our mindsets, getting us to get out of our comfort zones and be around the people that we needed to be around. Like I said earlier in this podcast, Joseph and I did not grow up in a high class, neighborhood, high class family, high class, we didn't come from money, and we were very, very poor growing up. And I shopped sales only, and there's just a certain mindset that was in that. And we had the mindset of employees as well, which there can be benefits from that. But when you are a business owner and you got to run a business and you have to make those tough decisions, you can't have the mindset of an employee. You have to have the mindset of a business owner. So that's probably one really huge thing that Mike brought to the table that taught us was how to have the right mindset being a business owner, how to, step out of your comfort zone and be around the right people, and realize what we could really bring to the table, but do it in the right form, right way. There's, even to this day, there's just issues that I'll ask Mike, are you sure? Should I do this? Because I know the answer. I know what he's going to tell me, but I'm just like, Do I have to? And it's no, if you want to be the good person, the good business owner, you got to go that route. That's what you got to do. And he's our guiding light. He is everything. We would be nothing without Mike. And I know he doesn't want the praise, but I don't care. I'm going to give him the praise, just like I'm going to give him a Mentor of the Year award every single freaking year, because he deserves it.
Absolutely. I could not agree more on that. And the impact, really you just hit on exactly what I was getting at there, is that having someone in that room, because I've been in the room with you guys, and it's a amazing dynamic, because you're literally there communicating, and we all are not afraid. A year ago, I'd have been sitting there quiet, and I would have just not, because I don't know what to say, and I don't want to say something stupid, and I don't count yet, like y'all are not going to take anything I say into account because I haven't done anything. Well, I do now. Now I feel so much different, and it's taken me a long time, but that confidence came directly from that. And, like they say, if you put yourself around 5 people that are similar, you're going to be the 6th. And I couldn't be more happy to be the 6th of this group, because that's definitely more than I ever thought was going to happen for me. I never had any idea that Rio Blanco roofing would be a thing. It's funny. We're coming up on 3 years. I was looking at this 10X rule thing that I have on my wrist. I've had this thing on since the day I met you guys in Miami 3 years ago for the 10X Growth Con. And I had literally just started with the company right then. I'd been there for like a week, and I flew over there, and I'm going to meet everybody that I had never met before. And honestly, I was thinking there's going to be, 3-4 people, whatever. It's a roofing company. They're not going to send too many. Roofers are idiots. They don't do this stuff. So I show up, and there's like 35 people from ASAP. And then I find out everybody paid their own way. Everybody was like fully committed to being there. One of the people that was there had a seat up in the suite where you guys were. I bought my ticket before I was on the team, gave me his seat so I could go up there and be with the team, because he said, hey, you need to be with these guys, and you need to get around this group. And I leave this thing on as a reminder of that day, because that was the day that my entire life changed. And that was the exact moment that I realized I made the right decision, and this is where I was supposed to be. But I never dreamt of any of the other stuff that happened. The Rio Blanco thing was, I didn't see that coming at all. 2 months in, I got, an offer of a lifetime, and here we are. But all of that, again, is because of the influence that we have through Mike, and the way that he unites people and puts people of like minds in similar scenarios to where they can work together. It's unlike any dynamic I've seen. And that's why I believe, when I tell people our tagline is we're not a roofing company. We're a personal development company that also does roofs. Right. And it's funny. I had some guys in my office a couple hours ago, and we were just talking about, things in general. We're about to unleash something ridiculously insane in College Station. Like, look out, world, because I'm about to partner up with a massive company to do something insanely beautiful, and nobody else will be able to do it. So it's going to be cool. But these guys were sitting in here, and they'd driven down, one from Dallas and one from Houston. And we were just chatting, looking at products and stuff. And I started explaining how, in our corporation, we've got K Socialized Media, we've got ASAP, Rio Blanco, Contractors Army, Jojo and Eric have their Any Given Break, and Clint's got like all kinds of other stuff going on that I don't even know about half of it. But it's like, this is an entrepreneurial group, and this is where I always wanted to be in my life. So it's been amazing for me, and I can't wait to see how everything moves forward. I love the way that you guys all operate as a team. One other thing I wanted to add on to that question, though, is you come from a large family. You have what, eight brothers and sisters, right? Total of 9, or is that
12?
Okay, 12. Yeah. See, I didn't even, I think I've only met like 8 of them, but yeah. So you've got 12 brothers and sisters.
Family picture. I have like a huge family picture here.
It's like your class picture when you were in the 6th grade or whatever. There's like 30 people. I love that. So you're from a big family, right? You guys come out to Texas, you start doing well. You've got siblings. You obviously are a very dedicated family. There's opportunities for other members of your family then to kind of move in as well. And you guys have done a great job of bringing in your family members and providing an opportunity for a lot of people. how does that work? Okay, so now you're up here. You've got this level where you guys are in charge. And I know JoJo's the youngest of the family. I'm guessing you're the second youngest, right?
Yes.
See,
Yes.
I would have, if I didn't know for a fact, I would have clearly said you were the youngest because that would be the right thing to say. But I understand you and JoJo are the two youngest of the family, right?
Yes.
And you hire siblings, members of your family who obviously throughout life have been in the chain of command above you guys, right? I mean, the older people are always a little bit more. I'm the older brother, so yeah. So how does it work when now all of a sudden there's a role reversal? Have you seen any kind of issues, or is it just kind of like, hey, we're a loving family, we get along, and we all know that we're doing this for the greater good? How does that work? And I've always wanted to ask that, and it came to my mind right now, and I was like, shoot, let's go live.
Well,
not going to piss anybody off today, are we?
Do you want the sugar-coated answer or the truth?
The truth, of course. We only speak the truth on Keepin It Rio.
That's right. I know I'm all about transparency always. So yeah, it's the way that it works is we provide opportunity to anyone, family or not, like we want everyone to have a chance. That's one of the most beautiful things about the time that we're living in now is everyone has an opportunity. It's not like how it used to be where you had to, always know someone to get in. So yes, these family members know us so they can get in, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the same opportunity as anyone else. If it doesn't work, just like it wouldn't work with someone else, it's the same thing. And I love that you pointed out that JoJo and I are the youngest. Yes, we are. And for the most part, we received a lot of support, but I'd be lying if there wasn't some, I don't know if I want to say jealousy, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. There are literally a lot of family members, and we all have different personalities, different opinions. We have Trump supporters, Biden supporters. I mean, we have an array of people. And I think that's why JoJo and I have the personalities that we do, is because we're the youngest and we had to learn to deal with an array of personalities, an array of opinions. And we both really believe that every person is beautiful in itself. And that's the beauty of our family, is the diversity. But I don't want to sit here and lie and be like, yes, it's rainbows and butterflies and the support is always there. Sometimes your biggest haters are family, and I'm not just talking siblings, I'm talking family all across the board. I want to be transparent. This is Keeping It Rio. Like we're keeping it real here.
We are keeping it real for sure.
So yes, it's a challenge. But all we can do and be is ourselves and focus on how we feel towards others. And that's the most important thing. No matter if no one supports me, I'm always going to support them, no matter who you are. I don't care. I support you.
Heard that. And that's the mindset that rubbed off on me so much when I got here 3 years ago. Is I've always been one of those people that's like everybody before me, and I want to be doing everything for everybody else. But it was always like sort of detrimental. Like I would go way above and beyond for people that wouldn't, pee on me if I was on fire type stuff. And I've been able to really kind of put things into perspective, being around a group of folks who have been able to kind of manage that stuff. And you guys have changed my entire life. Like 3 years ago, Chuck would laugh at this guy 3 years ago. But this dude is like, man, get the hell out of here, 3 years old Chuck, kicking him down the stairs, because we're just getting bigger and stronger and better every day. I love the dynamic. I love the family atmosphere. And you said it right. You give the opportunities to everybody. I mean, the simple fact is I had never even met Clint or JoJo or you in person.
Yep.
When this Rio Blanco thing became an actual thing, I had yet to even meet you guys in person. Like, that tells you about the Koppels and the Cozels. They gave me a business, ladies and gentlemen, to run before they even met me. Like, opportunities are real, and people that give those opportunities are real. I can't tell. I mean, if I could tell everybody on the planet how awesome you guys are, I would. And I do it every time I can, because it is genuine. And that's what's so cool about it. It's not It's not manufactured. I mean, you're Leeann, you're exactly the same, you know, if we're on camera right now or if we're just joking at the office, you know, you're always, you know, upbeat, happy, you know, good to be around. And that's infectious, and it's changed me a little bit. I've always been the energy guy, but I have a little bit more of it in now than I did. So I appreciate that so much. I love being a part of it. Um, I got one more question for you, and this is probably going to be the $1 million question before we actually I got two more, but this is going to be a good one. So
I got time.
Me too. Yeah, we're done with production for the week. So you are carving out a path. You're a successful entrepreneur. You get recognized from people. You've been featured on conferences. You've been on stages. You do webinars. You do all kinds of great stuff for our industry. And I'm speaking right now for the roofing industry because that's my industry. We talked earlier about how, you know, throughout the course of history, the roofing business is like, there are two definite sides, right? There's like the roofer side, and then there's like the business marketing type side, right?
Yeah.
The simple fact of the matter is it has been a male dominated. I don't think it's dominated by males at all. I think that the females are the ones that actually get everything done, and the dudes are just standing out there taking credit. And I know that for a fact. I've seen it in many companies. So you, I'm sure, have to deal with, you know, trying to go and work with people and provide your services, K Socialized, and so on and so forth. Obviously, as an owner of a $20 million plus roofing company, you have some credibility that's, you know, hey, y'all, I've done it. But the elephant in the room, you know, you're dealing with an old school roofing company owner, and he doesn't believe that, you know, some girl can tell him how to run his company. How do you overcome? What kind of stuff do you have to overcome, Leeann? I'm a dude. I get it. I don't have to overcome that kind of stuff. And I try my hardest to make sure that nobody ever has to overcome any of that when I'm around. But I know what it is. I've been here. I've been in this deal for 23 years. I've seen some of the most disgusting human beings ever. I've heard some of the most disgusting things said to females from people that are prominent in our industry. So tell us a little bit. I mean, how much have you had to go through? How strong are you to be able to continue moving forward? Because I know the answer, but it's tough, isn't it? This is not the easiest thing in the world. And that's why you should be praised. And that's why people need to be looking up to you, because you're doing something that not too many can do.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Seriously, I appreciate the question because most people won't even bring up that topic. They just don't want to deal or talk about something controversial, because at the end, it is controversial. It's a woman in a male dominated industry. It hasn't been easy. There's parts of me that have grown because of it. And I have dealt with a lot of different experiences in the past, not just the roofing industry, on how, you know, men can mistreat women in the workplace. I've dealt with that. And in the roofing industry, something that, well, being partners with my husband and brother, that's kind of like a safety net for me. So honestly, that kind of helped. But in the end, I'm just not treated the same. I'm not, I don't look for the spotlight. I started doing the ASAP lives because we just needed someone. I was like, this is going to work. I just need to do it. And I had the mindset of, I just need to do this because it works, not because I wanted to be famous and be the person for ASAP. That wasn't my mindset going into it. I never really crave recognition. I'm not looking for people to recognize everything that I do. I just do what needs to get done. But there are moments where it's a little hard. It's hard to hear, you know, Joseph and Clint, and it's not their fault. It is 100% not their fault. They give me praise when they, you know, when I need it, of course, but it's other people in the industry that they praise both of them. They think that it's all of them, when in reality, yeah, I do a lot of stuff in the industry as well. Like I really bring the knowledge, bring, you know, the brain power as well. I'm not just here for looks. And that's kind of what I get a lot too. I don't want to be one of the women that come into this male dominated industry and use my looks to my advantage. I could do that. I could sit here and twerk right now. I could sit here and dance and, do all that stuff and get attention, but it's not the right attention. I believe women can be classy and still make a name for themselves in this industry. I think that it's disappointing that in this generation and this time that it's still like that I can go to a conference and be one of the speakers and not have one male speaker come up and talk to me, but yet they'll go to each other, introduce each other, and talk to each other. Or they introduce themselves to my husband who's standing right next to me and not even a speaker, but they don't say a word to me. That's just an example. It's just real life. It is what's really happening. And I really appreciate you bringing that to light. I don't like talking about it, but it is a topic that needs to be talked about. It is something that in the roofing industry, construction industry, it needs to just be made aware. Just watch how you talk to people. I've had to drop clients because they want to call me sweetheart and beautiful all the time. And I'm like, I'm literally exploding your brand from my knowledge that I've learned for years, not because I'm pretty. That's not how this works, but that's what I want to be known for. That's how I want to change this industry and be an example for other female entrepreneurs. You can be in a male-dominated industry. You can be known, for being classy and not just shaking your butt just to get views. I just see it all the time. I see it constantly, especially in the social media space. I know what works. I know what could get us, a viral video right now, but I'm going to do it the right way. I don't care. I have my morals intact and they'll always be intact for the rest of my life. So it's going to take me a little longer to get out there, but it's going to be with the right people, high quality followers, and not just people, going to look at me because it's a construction industry and most of the guys are perverted.
It's true. And that goes worldwide though. That's not just construction, I mean,
that's everywhere.
It's a true statement. And I'll be honest.
Women that are perverted too. Okay. It does go both ways. It's just roofing. We're talking that right now, it's male dominated, but there are female dominated industries that men have a hard time getting into as well. So it's just, we got to work on both sides, y'all.
Absolutely. I tried to do the twerking video and it didn't work for me in this industry either. Like nobody was really trying to, they didn't see my personality anymore. All they saw was, and it's, I don't want to be treated like that. I got a brain. So
no roofs. What?
Yeah, right. Here's a question. And I'm trying to understand the question. Did you guys set up as a 51% owner to get benefits? And I'm not sure in what regard. Is that for like the organization or for your company or?
I'm not sure that question either, if you can clarify that. But the ASAP, as an example, ASAP is 50-50 between my husband and brother. And because legally we're in the state of Texas, I get 25% of my husband's 50 because we're married. But I've been around since day one. They've always, considered me as an owner as well. And so it's never been like, hey, technically on paper, you're not, but technically I am, because if something were to ever happen, I'd have ownership. But yeah, so that's a real technical question. Woman owner and ASAP. Yeah. So yes, technically I'm like 25 of 50 of Clint's 50 and Joseph is 50, but technically his wife is 25 of it. But she likes being home, taking care of the babies and the light and the house. I've just been a part of the business since day one. You get 10% off when bidding government work.
That is true. That is a female ownership type thing there. So there are some benefits. If you want to do government work is tough. I'll tell you. They give you the hardest thing, You can do it because nobody else wants to, but that's tremendous. So you've seen a lot of disadvantages, and you're fighting an uphill battle. You're doing an amazing job with it. What about advantages? Do you see anything that's like, hey man, these idiot guys don't get the same whatever, as me in this aspect? You know, is there an advantage to coming into a male dominated industry? You know, you obviously work with people who are going to respect you, and they see your vision and understand your greatness. But have you seen any kind of, you know, like added positive bonus to just being a woman in I hate saying male dominated because it's not at all.
Not anymore. It's
no.
not. There's a lot more women in the industry now. I mean, female adjusters, female business owners, just sole female business owners. I know a few in the roofing industry. So yeah, there are, I think, if like a sole business, female business owner, the advantage is they're more welcomed inside the door. They're more welcomed, you know, like your door knocking, a homeowner or property owner is more comfortable letting a woman in than a male. So there are those type of advantages. Obviously, you know, if I was out there twerking my stuff, that would be an advantage because I would excel my following a lot quicker. But I'm not going down that route. And other than that, I don't know. I personally, there may be a ton more advantages. I just personally don't know them. I just know you can get in the door. Yeah, you know, like females, they can really get in the door a lot quicker, whether, you know, like door knocking or talking to other businesses. That is definitely a benefit. People feel more comfortable talking to a woman or choosing colors or product for those roofs. People just think, oh, the woman knows better. They're better internal instincts or just better with design or something like that. But yeah, those are some advantages.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I'm sitting over here like, I thought I did a pretty good job picking the color of my own personal roof at my house, but I mean, you probably would have picked a better color than me. So I can certainly appreciate it. Here's a great question from a great young man. We got Reese Lawson, Tiger Roofing, and Reese has been a guest on Keepin It Rio. What's the best social media platform for connecting to commercial business owner networks? That is a tremendous question, Reese. Thank you.
A great one. The best platform, LinkedIn, number one. That it's all business. It's just so easy to connect to other business owners on that. Facebook is great, but you want to go into groups on Facebook, not just on your Facebook business page. There's a lot in every area you can imagine. There's an entrepreneur group, there's business groups, chamber of commerce groups. Those are the type of groups that you want to start plugging your name into and just, you know, letting them be aware of your presence. Also, joining the chamber of commerce or BNI groups. They're business owners. They either own buildings or renting, and which means they know the property owners. That is a way to go in. I think a lot of people think that only social media can help. No, being in-person interaction like BNI groups and Chamber of Commerce, that just is full circle in marketing. It helps bring it all together and show who you are as a person, show that the person online is the same person offline. So LinkedIn, number one, then Facebook business groups and Chamber of Commerce BNI events. Best results.
There you go. Yeah, and I agree 100%. Those are the same ones I would say. Cerise, when you're selling millions and millions of dollars in commercial roofs, I want you to come back this time next year and thank Leeann because she just showed you how to do it. So I've gone through my list. My last thing I've got on here is our closing comments and our outlook for the future. So we got a couple really cool things coming up here in the immediate future. This weekend, we have our company Christmas party, another Leeann event, which is going to be badass, I can guarantee. And then Monday, this is something that just came out of nowhere for me. I'm like sort of scared, but like pumped about this. Monday, I'm going to be flying a plane with Clint.
I'm so excited for you. So excited. It's really, really epic. Thank John Steele because he really kind of lit the fire under our booties. John Steele is Tyler Roofing Company, Steel Roofing. He got his pilot's license and with his wife, and they bought a plane. And then, those little envious little bugs came inside Clint and I, and we were like, oh, we need to do that. And Clint started his pilot lessons and invited Chuck to go along.
So it's gonna be amazing, or I'm not gonna see Tuesday, but one way or the other, it's gonna be fun. And I do agree. John Steele got me a little motivated in that too. It was very intriguing. I saw they were cleaning his plane up yesterday, and it's a thing of beauty.
I love it too.
Yeah. It's good stuff. So funny enough, when we started Rio Blanco, the story of Rio Blanco, everybody already knows. It was out of business. We bought it, reopened it in San Antonio, and it's right next door to the runway of the airport. Like literally the runway to the airport is probably 400 feet from my office back door, maybe. Like legit, the planes are like coming in and out, right? And there's a spot right here, and Clint said, right there is where I'm putting my plane when I get a plane. Well, that was 2.5 years ago. And we know how things manifest. When I first got here, y'all asked me for something crazy, and I was going to sponsor a race car, which guess what? The Rio Blanco car was racing in North Carolina this past Saturday. So we do the crazy stuff. Oh, yeah, we do the crazy stuff. Indeed. And it's like, when Clint called me the other day, right? And he's saying about this plane he's flying and all this stuff, I'm like, I guess it didn't register 100%, right? I'm like, I'd known Clint, man, like a week ago. This guy's never flown a plane. So he's telling me he's flying an airplane, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that doesn't even sound safe. That sounds extremely irresponsible. But like, and poor Clint, I love Clint to death, and he's your husband, so you'll get this, but every time I talk to Clint, he's talking about how he can't see and stuff. So I'm like, man, I'm not sure that this is really the thing for me. And I said, I don't really want to do it because I'm scared. I didn't want to tell Clint that I was scared that we were going to die, but I didn't think much more of it, right? And then a couple of days later, there was a little Facebook story, and I think it must have been you maybe that posted the little video of it.
Yep.
And it was actually Clint like doing the deal with the steering wheel and all, and it was like, at that moment, for whatever reason, it hit me, and I was like, oh my God, like that's what he was talking about. He's like really flying a plane. And so I called Clint like 2 or 3 days ago, right? And I was like, hey man, I'll be in Tyler. I was in Tyler Friday last week, and I was calling to see if Clint was going to be in town and when his next lesson was, because I just wanted to stand on the ground and watch this dude fly a plane, right? Because I don't know. Those little planes are, I've never been in one. I like the big planes and stuff.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, this is the time, because he's with an instructor. So this is the time.
Well, and that's what he told me. He said, look, you can't screw this up. And I'm like, Clint, dude, anything I've ever done that's not like got 4 wheels on it, I've crashed. And this sucker doesn't have any wheels. I guess technically it has 2, but I feel confident because he said this instructor is going to be right beside me, and if something goes wrong, it's like immediate fix. So I'm looking forward to it. I am a little bit,
when you have your driver's permit and you're doing your driving lessons with the instructor on the side, but they have like the brakes themselves. So if you mess up, they're like, arr! Yeah, that's going to happen.
It's going to happen because I'm going to do something, I told Clint, you get the content. K Socialized Media is going to blow up one way or the other.
That's right.
If it's me doing this stuff across the air or, whatever, getting kicked out of a plane lesson. It's going to be awesome. I am going to be addicted. I'm afraid of that fact. I'm afraid that my vision board for 22 is going to have a plane on it.
Oh, my vision board, it's on my phone. You can't, my phone has too much stuff on it.
See, look, here's some terrific.
There's a plane on my vision board that I did 2 years ago. I haven't completed everything. I don't know if you can see it, but I have all this, and then a plane. Where did it go? Oh yeah, it's right next to the pile of money.
Right next to the pile of money. Yep.
Because you need a pile of money for a plane.
Well, my vision board has
this until it's done. I will not delete this or remove it until I completed everything on my vision board. So 2 years later, I'm getting it.
I love it. So I'm guessing, I don't know who this is. It doesn't show their faces or anything, but it might be John. It might be like Eric Richardson, who's also a pilot.
He is.
Stall training. You'll quickly realize it's very hard to get the plane out of control, says Facebook user. Well, let me tell you guys a quick story. I had a drone that I flew all over the place. I took my drone to Mexico one time and I sat passenger seat in a Jeep and drove down the coast while the drone was flying above us at 55 miles an hour and I was controlling it in the Jeep.
That is so cool.
Pretty good drone pilot. I understand how this works, right? Well, Christmas Day 2018, I was in Ohio and I did something heroic with my drone where I rescued a toy that was stuck in a frozen pond, right? Took a piece of yarn and took a Christmas tree ornament hook and I did the whole deal, flew the drone out, caught it, brought it up, brought it back. Should have been fine, right? That should have been my moment, but I wanted more, right? So I take the drone and I don't think about these things because I've never tied a string to the bottom before with a hook, never done any of that stuff. I've never had a need. So I've got a whole group of people out here. They're cheering me because I just saved this thing. And it's like, let me show you guys what this is all about, really. So I take the drone up and it can go 300 feet by law, right? I go up to about 297 and I start flying around and I'm like miles away. I'm flying over shopping centers and like, thank God that this didn't happen any other time than when it did, because someone could have been killed and I probably could have been in prison right now. So I'm flying around, I'm doing this and we're shopping mall, there's thousands of people, right? Like, thank you, God. I start flying back and I'm miles away, right? And I'm flying back. But when I can see the drone, I start doing the little, I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to start descending, right? And it looks cool. I'm descending. I'm coming this way and it's doing the whole deal. Well, this has a tragic ending. I forgot about the yarn that I tied to the bottom of the drone. Forgot about the hook that was extremely light. So as I start taking the drone down, this starts going up, right? The yarn comes up. It got caught in a propeller. Oh. Leeann, I'll tell you what, this is the craziest thing ever because I'm standing there with a whole bunch of people. It's a $2,000 drone, right? Legit. The ice was about this thick in the pond, okay? The thing got over the pond. When it happened, I had the telemetry on it. It was going 77 miles an hour when it hit the ice. Never to be seen again. That drone hit that ice that was that thick from 300 feet at 77, and it went straight through. And it was like one of those moments where I just stood there and it was like, oh, like, I don't even know what to do or say, and someone suggested going and finding it. It was like, nah, there's no point. Like there were no survivors on that one.
It's just a castle for fishies,
Yeah, exactly. And to me, I was one of the good pilots. So as long as I don't do something stupid like take an airplane and try to save a toy out in the middle of a ice pond or something with a piece of yarn, I'm hoping I don't get killed. I'm not going to modify an airplane in any way ever.
Yeah, like, don't do that. Did you lose the footage? Did you lose the footage? The footage
never survived. It was on the camera, and once that thing hit, it just went black, and that was the end. I had insurance on it. I could have gotten it. Worst part, $500 camera that I picked up from Dallas and had installed like a week earlier. Got to use it once. So anyway.
Hey, you saved a toy.
I did. I saved the toy, which was probably worth about $5. The kid hated it anyway. Never probably played with it again.
Probably not.
Whatever, I'll get a new drone. Yeah. I was. And that's all that mattered on Christmas Day 2018. I was a hero. The story has changed. The people that were there will tell you that this is not at all what really happened. But in my story on my podcast, I was a hero to a young boy.
I believe you, Chuck. I only believe you. I don't believe anyone else.
Yeah, it wasn't a 13-year-old kid that didn't have any interest in the toy at all and couldn't have cared any less. It was a little boy that I made his day. So that was a lot of fun. But I'm looking forward to flying. I'm looking forward to the Christmas party this coming weekend.
Yes, we have awards that we're giving out. Chuck has come up with some incredible people for winners for Rio's awards. So look out on the Facebook page and check that out.
Yeah, the cool thing is most of them don't even work at Rio. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys.
None of them. They all went to me and Chuck, honestly. So thank you.
Yeah. General manager of the year, branch manager of the year. What else? Sales rep of the year, whatever, guy of the year. So 2022, we got a bunch of crazy stuff coming. We have our new ASAP solar company that's starting. We're doing a solar project for Rio Blanco in January, I believe. So excited about that. Excited about all the opportunities that we're going to have, the retreats that are going to be announced soon, the continued growth and development of all of us and our company brands and everything that we've got. So what's your outlook for 22 and beyond, Leeann? What are you looking to get done? You know, what are your main goals to do in the new year, and how are we going to make it happen?
Yes, I think for 22, for ASAP, the goals is because we have spent years building systems and really trying to get them fully incorporated in the business. And I think 22 is the year where it's going to finally be like smooth sailing. The systems are in place. We have the right people in the positions they need to be in. And so I think that it'll just be a year of growth. I think it'll be a year of growth across the board with everything. But yeah, for ASAP, you know, those systems really being in place and being utilized. And then for K Socialized, I think it's going to be our breakout year for K Socialized. I will be honest. I have two jobs. I work with ASAP, but I also have K Socialized, and ASAP has always been my baby, and I spent a lot of time and energy, you know, building that up. And it's now time to move that energy over to K Social. It's now time to really blow up that business, because my ultimate goal is to help as many people as I can. And I think that that's going to be one way of me doing it, is really blowing that up. And we have a couple other businesses that are coming out in 22, one that's tied with K Social. I don't want to say too much of it yet, but I'm really, really excited. It's going to bring something really cool to the table in line with social media creation. So that's going to be something really, really impactful for the East Texas community. Something that I've wanted to do for a while. It's an idea that I've had brewing for over a year, and it's coming to fruition, and we are almost completely done, and that will be announced soon. So that's exciting. I think Rio is going to have an exponential year. Same thing as ASAP. We've been building systems. We've been getting everything prepped. And I think just 22 is going to be one of our biggest years yet. I feel like all of the work and sacrifice and sweat and tears, all of that has occurred in these past few years is going to pay off in 22. We have done so much. And I'm not talking about just me and Clint and JoJo. It's Chuck, it's Roy, it's our whole entire teams. We have sacrificed so much and have been working relentlessly, even the past 2 years, even through COVID, through all of this, we have done so much. And I think that 22, like, I just feel it in my every fiber of my being. I feel like this is going to be our breakout year. It's going to be our biggest year yet for all the companies. And we are going to see a lot of our hard work pay off. We're going to see some pretty incredible and amazing things. So I'm super excited. I'm really, really pumped for this new year coming. It's going to be epic, really, as JoJo would say, full send.
Full send. I agree with everything you just said. It's going to be a huge year. I am so pumped for Rio Blanco for this coming year. Yes. We have been working extremely hard trying to get the little things, you know, because that's been our thing. You know, we had the full system. I was blessed. I was able to go to Rio and just put the ASAP system in place. It's easy to duplicate. So I was able to do that pretty quick. But now we find the little details that we have to kind of tighten up just a little bit. And, you know, some of the other processes we're putting in, I am extremely excited for it. So far, everybody's been great with following our new processes, except for me. And I need to set a much better example for my team. But I think we're going to have a great year. I've already got a number in mind as far as our revenue goals. I'm going to be in San Antonio next week, all week pretty much after Monday, because we're looking for a new office. Rio Blanco started in that little tiny office. And have you ever been to the little office, Leeann? I don't know if you've ever been to the one in San Antonio.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times, and I actually went there the very first time with Clint and JoJo when we first bought it, and I was pregnant with Bradley, and I was sick the whole entire time, and I was like, oh, this is miserable, but it was the best thing at the same time. And
Yep.
I actually, do you want to hear a crazy story really quick?
Absolutely.
I don't know if I should. Okay, I have to say it now. Okay, so I'm pregnant with Bradley, and we go to San Antonio. First trip, we go to check out the storage unit for everything that was there that the previous owner had. We checked out the space, all that. And so, it's nighttime. We got to relax. It's time to enjoy ourselves and actually explore San Antonio. We go down to the river walk, and I saw a bar that I have always dreamt of going to, Coyote Ugly. We go to Coyote Ugly, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, perfect excuse. Let's go to the bathroom. And then, okay, I'm going to tell it. So we're in Coyote Ugly, and we order a drink, and I'm pregnant, so I'm not drinking. And I don't need alcohol to have fun. I love having fun. And we're with my brother JoJo and Clint, my husband, and I decide, because they start calling, hey, women, come up and dance on the bar. Why not? So I decide no one else is going up. What are they doing? So I get up on the bar and I dance. Well, does not end there. Then the bartender asked if Clint wanted to take a body shot off of my prego belly, because she thought, oh yeah, that would be fun. Let's take a shot off the belly. Well, I was like, okay, why not? Well, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that this lady was going to lay me down on the bar and do a full dance on top of me, and then him take the shot. And my younger brother is standing right there. And I'm just like, avert your eyes, please. Because she did this full dance. I'm laying on the bar. Clint takes the body shot, and I just told that story live on Facebook. So.
On Contractors Army and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, and there's millions of people watching. So.
Yes. So I am classy. Okay, I was not stripping on a bar or anything. I was pregnant. It was
the most wholesome experience ever at Coyote Ugly.
Sober, but I was obsessed with the Coyote Ugly movie growing up. I literally was obsessed, and so I was like, I need to experience this. I never know if I'll ever come back here again, and that happened. But we did not stream any of that. We did not take pictures of that. I did not put that out on the internet, because I probably would have gone viral at that point.
Yeah, whole different conversation today for sure.
It would have been a different outcome. Yeah,
that is tremendous. And I did know that story because I went down there with Clint and JoJo as well when they first came down to meet me the first time, and that story is just as bad. Maybe it's a little bit worse
Yeah.
because we definitely didn't belong where we were at that time, and me especially. But
I had
good
my
times.
brother there. I had my brother there. He had to turn around because it was awkward. So awkward. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, mother, don't ever watch this.
There you go. Bradley Koppel, do not tune to YouTube until you're at least 21 years old, my friend. So that's tremendous. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know that we can do anything that's going to top that. So we've been talking for almost an hour and a half, Leeann. This has been the best Keepin' It Rio that I've ever done. And I appreciate you very much for being here, for taking time out. When the other guys, what are their names? Jeremy and Eric are here. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I know Jeremy's name. Eric, I had to write down sometimes, but we do our shout out and our call out of the week and our win. So let's do that. Since this is Keepin' It Rio, let's do our call out and our win. I'll go first if you want, and then I'll give you the floor to end the show if that's cool.
Yes.
Okay. So my big win this week, I think, was I was sitting here in our managers meeting on Tuesday morning at about 7:45 a.m. and I got a text message from Mike Code. And Mike said, hey, someone was supposed to come to do this consulting with me and had to back out at the last minute. It's actually Clint.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
so
say,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Clint and me. It was both of us. But.
It was Clint, you know, and Leeann had a family thing going on, so Clint stayed with the kids, and I'm always honored to get the opportunity to go do that stuff. So of course I took it. My big win was the day I had yesterday over in Oklahoma. I also do want to say that my big win for the Rio Blanco office here in College Station is that we have been putting roofs up very consistently. We've been getting a lot of insurance money finally coming back in. And we're going to be about as humanly possible close to being like even when we start 22 as I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm excited about that. Got some new guys here that we're going to really do some great things with. We just signed a huge roof deal the other day with our new rep, Austin. I wanted to mention one of my guys because I'm going to give the shout out. It's not really, it is Keepin It Rio, but it's just us. So I'm giving a shout out to Larry Andrews and his entire team over in Mustang, Oklahoma at 777 Roofing. Every time I go there, it's like you're a member of their family. You get welcomed in with a hug. Larry sends me with books every time I leave. I came back with 3 new books yesterday. And they couldn't be more, I don't even know the word, like inviting and just such a great group. I love going out there. That's my 3rd time this year I've been there, and I appreciate them because they can invite anybody, and they've allowed this idiot to come 3 times. So must be doing something right. I appreciate all those guys. Their sales team are stars. I think the lowest guys were 1.5 million was what they said they want to do next year. And I told every one of them, I'm going to check up with each of you every single month for the entire year. And if you're not on goal, you got to answer to me. So shout out and win to them. So how about you? Your shout out and your win of the week, Leeann Koppel, owner of multiple businesses, mother extraordinaire, friend, colleague. What else do I have on there? I got the whole thing. wife, mom, friend, and entrepreneur.
Introduce me for everything now.
Right?
What a build up. Thank you.
That's how I roll. I'm all about the sizzle.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll start with my win for the week. My win. Well, I guess my win is being here with my mom. I think that's my biggest win. It's been a little rough, but the fact that I can spend one more day with her and be with her and watch Hallmark Christmas movies on Marathon, it's good. This is something that I probably will never forget and always keep within my memories forever. So I'm grateful that I had the opportunity and have my husband Clint, who will hang out and be with the kids and take them to school and pick them up, and he's being a real trooper, so that I could be here with my mom. So I think that is a huge win for this week. And then my shout out is actually going to go to Chris Carpenter. Woo! 1, for making the really epic intro to this podcast. Love it. Your skills are just becoming greater and greater every freaking day. And then 2, he created, which you haven't seen yet, Chuck, or no one has, but he's created an end of the year video for us all. And I've saw some of it, and I think everyone is going to be so in love, and we will be posting it to share with the world, but the team is going to watch it first at the Christmas party. So I am super grateful that Chris literally just completes every single vision I've ever had. He understands where my brain is at, and he puts his skill and talent to it, and it's just exponential. Like it's insane, the stuff that he can do. And I'm so grateful to have him on our team, and to have that level of skill and talent to have on our team is just insane. So thank you, Chris. You're my shout out.
There you go. And Chris was watching, and I love it because Chris was watching on YouTube, because we do have a live YouTube channel as well, and it's like in straight up high definition. Facebook only goes to a certain level.
Yes, it does.
YouTube goes above that. So Chris is like seeing everything crystal clear. So we appreciate you, Chris. I love that intro too. So do Eric and Jeremy. That's awesome. This has been a tremendous hour and a half, Leeann. I appreciate you very much. we are going to start doing more Keeping It Rios, I think, on Friday. I kind of like doing these. I'm still going to do the Thursday with Jeremy and Eric, and I told both of them they're always welcome to do these if they want. But I think this is a lot of fun. And the truth is, before I sign off today, I do want to give you more credit because this podcast was like kind of your idea, really. This was like kind of spawned off of our Q3 managers, goals that we set, where every one of the managers was going to go live on video once a week. So we came up with this pretty cool little idea to do this like podcast, and Keeping It Rio was something I thought of like literally the first day I walked in. It was like, Keeping It Rio, baby. And
That's
so
right.
we took this, and like it's 32 episodes in now, which is insane. I've spoken with people not just in our industry, but I mean, my friend Dimitri owns a hemp farm in North Carolina. He's been a guest on my show. I've spoken with business owners. I've spoken with, sales reps, you name it. And the thing that I love the most is I don't really understand the reach until I'm like somewhere far, far away. And someone's like, man, I watch your podcast all the time. And it's insane because the people that see it are legitimately seeing it because they tell you about the stuff that you talked about. And it's extremely humbling. But this whole thing, I did have a podcast in mind. We talked about doing it for months, and it never came to development until that.
It wasn't right timing. Was not right timing.
It wasn't the right timing, and we just needed the right circumstance, And I got Jeremy and Eric, and the three of us really vibe well together. Those poor guys have been around me long enough to where now they get my sense of humor. And it makes everything so amazing. But this whole thing, really 100%, I went out and spent $5,000 on equipment. I got the Joe Rogan microphones. I got like the badass stuff. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a Rodecaster Pro, Leann. I can do some crazy stuff. Like, check this out. Okay, real quick. We'll sign off. We'll sign off after this, but this is why I love my Rodecaster Pro, because I can press buttons and stuff like this happens.
Oh, Chuck's the man.
So
I love it.
that is well worth the money that was invested. It looks good. It sounds good. And the truth of the matter is, I am actually speaking with sponsors right now for our show, like legit multiple big time sponsors. So who knows where this thing's going to even go or what's going to happen, but I am going to go with it because it's fun. I'm having a great time. And Chris, hey, check this out. Here we go. Chris, your wish is my command, sir. So there you go. We're going to continue to do Keeping It Rio. And I told Eric and Jeremy, I want them to be on here with me as long as they want to. There's no requirement anymore, but we're doing it because it's fun. And I want to continue to grow it and continue to just see how far it can go. And I made the joke that I only need about 30 million more friends, and I'm taking Joe Rogan's spot. So let's share this thing. Let's make Chuck's show better than Joe Rogan's, and everybody will be happy in the world. So that's my stuff for next year. That's our goals. I appreciate everything.
Like, share,
comment,
share. Do it all. Everyone wants to see this. Don't hold this information to yourself. Spread it with the world, y'all.
Exactly. Spread it like wildfire. So appreciate everybody being here. I am going to do another live Keeping It Rio next Friday with a special guest that I will announce next week. It's going to be tough to beat what we just did here. So I appreciate Leeann, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And you're like 20 minutes from going home, most of you. So thanks for spending your work day chilling with us. And if you didn't, go home and watch it tonight. There's plenty of replays. So thank you guys. We will see you all next week. And I am going to hit the end button right now.